Hey everybody, I want to thank you all for sending in your questions, and Nick and I, we're kind of amazed at how many great questions there are, and we just want to show you a couple guitars and kind of point out a few things to you all. We had a question about Les Pauls and Les Paul Customs.
Anthony Calderon wanted to know, due to the expense of the Les Paul vintage reissues that are being made by the Gibson Custom Shop, at which price point should someone stop looking at those and start looking for an actual vintage Les Paul? Which is a good question, really, because...
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the thing is that the real Les Pauls from the 50s are pretty astronomical if you're going to buy a great example. Now, we have a lot of flame tops, reissues, and we have a real 1960, which is the price of a house in a lot of cities. This guitar over here is a 1957 Les Paul Custom. And this is a guitar that's out of my stash. This is one of the cleanest, most beautiful ones I've ever seen in my life. And it still has the original hang tag that says Les Paul Custom Fretless Wonder. And they were the Fretless Wonder. They had very small frets, and that was kind of one of the things about the guitar. The thing about the Custom now is it has the multiple bindings around the outside. This one has 3 PAF pickups. It has the ebony fingerboard with the big blocks for inlay, the diamond on the headstock. This was their most expensive guitar, but the standards actually became more valuable. They kind of superseded the Customs in value in terms of old ones. And this is an amazing example. And this guitar is right around $90,000, which is a lot of money. This other one over here that Nick is holding is a 74. This is a beautiful example of a 74. Don't get much nicer than that. And this guitar here is a little over $4,000, and it's just a beautiful example of the guitar. Now, we have a lot of flame top reissues as far as the standards go and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different ways to go, and a lot of it has to do with your pocketbook. There's the Les Paul Studio, which is kind of the budget version of the Les Paul.
Yeah.
What do you think? They're good.
The Studio is like the cheapest version Gibson made of a Les Paul that has all the right components. It has a mahogany body and a carved maple top. It just doesn't have things like binding around the edges or binding around the fretboard, and it has dot markers instead of, you know, more elaborate stuff, but it's still basically the same guitar.
It's the bare bones of what you need to get the Les Paul sound.
And you can pick those up for like under $1,000, which is great.
And we have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then there's the Les Paul Standards, and those guitars, standards and traditionals, and that whole variety classics, those are generally under $2,000, sometimes
like
a little more, sometimes a little less.
R8s, which are, these are real popular.
This is the next step up, which this is Custom Shop. It's a plain top, but it's got all the features of the old guitars. And so a lot of it is going to just depend on your pocketbook. We want to try to offer stuff to everybody. We don't want to be snobs and elitists. Whatever your price range is, we have stuff. We even have Epiphone copies, which do the job. It's not quite of the same caliber. They're made overseas. But we just wanted to give you kind of a variety and kind of show you some of the stuff from the high to the low. And we'll be doing some stuff on the standards and the flame top reissues and the real flame tops based on the questions we get from all you viewers. And again, I want to thank you guys for sending in these questions.
Thanks for sending them in. The questions are getting better as people figure out what we're doing, so keep them coming.
Right. We figured 2 old men sitting on a couch might not get all the girls, but
we're going to be sponsored by Viagra.
Yeah. Right. But we're here and we're going to be showing you. Yeah, Viagra's going to do it, or Cialis. But we're going to show you some of these guitars so you can see firsthand what's going on. And again, we've got them from every level, from the entry level up to the very top collectible. And whatever you want, we're right here at Norm's.